volunteers in Jordan give books to a local reading room for refugee children. We find out how to combat insomnia with exercise and massages instead of sleeping pills. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Jordan, where Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting and caring for the children at a refugee home in Swale for more than a year. Recently, the refugee home established a reading room, and as a welcome gift, Tzu Chi volunteers brought these children some books to stock the shelves.
He is a chef, and he painted this picture for these children's education.
I drew the picture of the serenity, hoping to purify these children's minds so they can enjoy the serenity of the outdoor scene.
The refugee home in Amman of Jordan has taken in Syrian refugee children. This small reading room, which was established recently, helps these children pursue their dreams of being lifted out of poverty.
Teaching books, these about disease, these about the human organs.
Upon learning that there are only religious books here due to lack of funding, Tzu Chi volunteers raise funds to buy books on life and common knowledge for these children.
After the reading room is set up, I no longer feel sad. I feel very happy.
I am grateful to Tzu Chi for allowing the children to go to school. Without schooling, they will not learn how to read and write.
We're very grateful that we learn much from Tzu Chi volunteers. For the refugees, Allah is the most important. Second comes Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi has an important place in our hearts.
Switching our focus to the United States, founded in 1980, the Foothill Unity Center is a primary provider of food and medical services to the homeless and low-income families in Los Angeles County, California. However, doctors cannot regularly make it to the center to see patients. To alleviate the center's worries, they have partnered up with Tzu Chi's mobile clinic to provide twice-a-month ophthalmology and dental services to the needy.
Don't move your head. Concentrating on visual inspection, Benny has been living with blurred vision for a long time and finally has a chance to restore his vision. Despite a long journey, he must seize this rare opportunity.
I left at 7 o'clock. I got here at 10, so 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But it was worth it. I mean, it's worth it. My sight is precious. You can't put a price on it. And now I have my sight back. This is amazing for me.
U.S. City Medical Mission joins hands with Foothill Unity Center in San Gabriel Valley twice a month, with Tzu Chi Mobile Clinic providing ophthalmic and dental services for the homeless and low-income families.
Many times there are ways that we are able to help our children with their dental and their vision, but the adults have not been getting the help that they needed. And this clinic with the Tzu Chi allows our adults to get that type of totally needed care.
Not only on the staff, how excited we were about the program, but also the community and how everyone started signing up, and when they left with their glasses or when they got their filling or some type of dental work, just their smile and how appreciative and grateful they were just touched everyone's heart here.
In the past, without Tzu Chi's mobile clinic services, Joanne could only seek medical treatment at Tzu Chi's free clinic center in Alhambra. Now she can get medical attention here. In addition, she has found a part-time job at the center.
Just grateful that you guys have this. I really am, because I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own, so I'm very grateful that you reach out to the community and try to get out to other people like that. So.
Thanks to the presence of Tzu Chi's mobile clinic, the Foothill Unity Center in San Gabriel Valley can provide medical services to the surrounding community. The volunteers are able to safeguard the health of the needy in the community.
To ensure PVS patients at Tydon's Genesis Social Welfare Foundation and other nursing homes are keeping up their oral health. Team members from Hualien, Taipei, and Kaohsiung all gathered in Taidong to treat the patients. As this free clinic isn't your typical dental-free clinic, dentists and volunteers all had to work extra hard to ensure it went off without a hitch. Preparing for the oral clinic, dentists head to the patient room, but once the patient arrives, they don't hurry to begin. As the patient is a PVS sufferer, the volunteers need to ensure the patient is emotionally prepared for the dental treatment. There is a lack of medical resources in Taidong, so when the Social Genesis Welfare Foundation in Taidong needs doctors to treat their residents, they scramble around to find assistance. Thankfully, team members do this once every 6 months.
In the past half year, we have discovered there has been a reduction in problems with our residents' oral health and gastrointestinal issues.
It is not easy to safeguard these PVS patients' oral health. Someone needs to hold a flashlight illuminating the scene, and doctors must stand on a chair to treat the patient the entire time. However, these dentists don't think they have the toughest job out of the free clinic.
I was moved when I got here. Getting all the dental work set up takes much longer than the time we need to spend on each patient. Their setup work is extraordinary.
This free clinic mobilized 12 dentists and 98 volunteers with the medical equipment first arriving and all hands on deck when equipment failure occurs. With the support of Tzu Chi volunteers, this free clinic for PVS patients in Taidong comes to a successful end. Recently, a care center in Taidong established by Tzu Chi Hospital and AIC, a Catholic charity organization, was renovated to provide a more suitable environment for the elderly. Let's join the grand reopening.
1、2、3，接牌。
This clean and spacious room is the newly renovated Community Senior Center at Taidong's Haiduan Township.
I'm happy Tzu Chi has joined us. The local elderly can receive much benefits from their participation.
To take care of the elderly near Tzu Chi Hospital, a senior community care center was officially established at the True Light community.
From next week on, we'll be stationed here Monday through Friday. We'll have a physical therapist, nutritionist, and social worker here. We'll bring the hospital resources to your community. There will be a specialist here to answer all the questions you may have.
As Taiwan's Long-Term Care Act 2.0 rolls out, Tzu Chi Hospital hopes to give more elderly residents the detailed care they need without much hassle. When the Good Shepherd Foundation was established, its main function was rescuing and counseling indigenous women. Wu Fangfang, the first CEO of the group, even suffered a beating and physical harm when trying to rescue children enslaved by a prostitution ring. As this issue is no longer a threat, the organization has changed its focus to resettling women and children subject to domestic abuse. Let's learn more on this 30th anniversary of theirs.
Founded 30 years ago, the Good Shepherd Foundation was first in eastern Taiwan to assist the rural and indigenous women from domestic violence and sexual abuse. The group has bravely accompanied many women and helped them overcome many difficulties that they face in life.
In
1986, some children from tribal villages were sold as prostitutes. In fact, the situation was very tragic, as we gradually brought the children back.
While other children may be reading, surfing the internet, or going out to play, others face the threat of being tied, beaten, going hungry, or other assault.
I saw a young little girl who was just 5.5 years old. Her stepfather had a tarp tied around a tree, and after she went in, those people entered and assaulted her. I told her later to come with me.
那有一天我就跟那个小孩讲说，你跟我走好了。其实我被黑道、被人口贩子打。
In fact, it was the mafia who beat me. I wasn't so sad, I was angry actually at how bad they could be. I can take a lot. After they beat me, I knew that I had to keep going as I felt even stronger.
我的个性里面其实是 一个坚持度蛮高的人，所以其实他打我，让我更坚定的觉得说我必须走下去。我们这边1个月要花120万。
As time passes, the types of problems slowly change as many families are not functioning well, meaning there are more children to care for. More than half of the children taken care of by these care programs come from violent families or poor backgrounds.
One difficulty that we face is that there are more children coming from difficult backgrounds, creating more demand for these care homes. If this continues to increase, we need new facilities, and as there are new cases that continue to increase, we really have a difficult time placing these children in suitable care homes.
Actually, the number of cases involving child protective services, according to the law, seems to be decreasing. But those suffering from economic hardship and illness requiring care has seen an obvious increase. This is especially true in Hualien, where it is difficult to find employment, as they have no means of raising a family, leading to problems in childcare.
Many children who are displaced or hungry or suffering from domestic and sexual abuse may not be counted, though they could still be living amongst us.
In fact, this is not just a problem amongst tribal villages, as it is in many communities. However, in tribal villages, these troubles are compounded by alcoholism, unemployment, and intergenerational child rearing.
Some may not be able to go home because some come from broken families with some experiencing incest.
Although conditions cannot be changed overnight, such problems that took place in the past are slowly being addressed. Unfortunately, the difficulty of finding homes and resettling these children continues to be an issue, with fundraising remaining difficult, as many organizations continue to be committed to this difficult cause.
According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, people in Taiwan consume more than 300 million sleeping pills every year. From a TCM point of view, many of these insomnia cases have to do with poor water metabolism or low body temperature. Therefore, doctors suggest people exercise or press certain pressure points to improve their sleeping quality.
In Taiwan, more than 5 million people are troubled by one condition.
整天都是昏昏沉沉、疲劳啦，累又睡不着。
1 in every 5 people suffer from insomnia.
睡眠不好会有什么副作用？就是真的是记性不好。
According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, every year people in Taiwan consume more than 300 million sleeping pills.
Patients would not rely on sleeping pills if they take the medication according to the doctor's directions. Do not add other medicine or take it with alcohol.
While sleeping pills can improve patients' sleeping quality, it is even better to find the real cause and avoid taking medication.
If the patient has poor water metabolism, he or she will not sleep well. With poor water metabolism, one will also suffer from poor blood circulation and poor sleeping quality.
From a TCM point of view, drinking too much water is detrimental to one's health, as low body temperature can lead to insomnia.
When there is stagnation of liver qi, the body temperature will be concentrated in the internal organs. Then the blood circulation cannot spread the temperature to the limbs.
Therefore, one can take a hot shower or have foot bath before sleeping.
The function of foot bath is to increase the temperature of the meridian. Thus, the problem of coldness and weakness can be improved.
One can press the acupuncture point, Shaohai point, which is along the line of the pinky finger and near the elbow. In addition, one can press the spirit gate point, which is near the palm.
Spirits gets points is near the horizontal lines underneath the palm. For people who have poor sleeping quality, they can press these 2 points.
One can also press the Feng Chi point, which is on the lower part of the head, as well as Anmian point, which is near the ear, to improve one's sleeping quality.
In Kaohsiung, a college student suffered from congenital persistent pupillary membrane, which means his pupil was covered by a membrane and it affected his vision. But by the time doctors discovered his condition and operated, it was too late. Parents are advised to keep an eye on their children if they suspect any eye problems.
His skill in basketball is only diminished by his vision.
I use my other eye to shoot the basketball. It's a little distorted and off a little bit.
A student surnamed Lin began to suffer blurry vision 7 years ago when playing basketball, leading him to undertake a medical examination. It was then revealed that his right eye did not have a pupil.
How could such a thing happen? I was pretty stunned and thought that, how could this happen to me?
He would often ride a bicycle and fall over, but he didn't mind this. At the age of 14, a doctor found that he had persistent pupillary membrane. The persistent pupillary membrane, which doesn't contract, can be part of the iris. It is a vascular structure which usually disappears in young children by the first year, but 20% of the adults have a small amount of residue, which does not affect their vision. But his right eye was completely covered, leaving him to have no pupil as surgery was needed.
That thick layer of film, in fact, is a blood vessel, just like the iris below. As if you hit it hard, it can form a traumatic cataract and can cause the entire iris to rupture and bleed.
Under the pupil is a crystalline lens. Physicians use a special 20-gauge needle to perform a 360-degree porous membrane surgery. After opening the pupil, the surgery was not successful because it missed the golden period of treatment, which is before the age of 6. Although his right eye can see, it suffers from amblyopia, as he still has regret.
At Shiguang Senior High in Nantou, there is a tradition of junior high students assisting students with special needs as they eat lunch. For these junior high students, this gives them the opportunity to put their love into action.
It takes special education student Xiaoru a long time to eat. Therefore, this student from the junior high section has come to help out.
I can help him when he has a hard time scooping up the rice.
During lunch hour every day, some junior high students will sacrifice their lunch break and come here to help the special education students as they eat lunch.
Since we are more fortunate, we should help them with our abilities.
Junior high school students assist students with special needs. Nevertheless, they still expect the students to do what they can, learning to be independent. Every semester, about 30 students take turns to help students with special needs.
I feel very good because helping other people makes me feel good.
Students who are mentally challenged can hardly coordinate their hands and feet. Teachers have asked junior high school students to serve students with special needs to nurture their compassion.
They feel that they are quite fortunate, and therefore they also want to help underprivileged people.
This practice of helping students with special needs has been carried out for 8 years. Besides junior high school students, senior high students also lead students with special needs in extracurricular activities.
Senior high school students know how to empathize with and help children carry out some activities or improve their life skills.
As students help students with special needs, they've also learned to cherish their own blessings and be grateful.
Montfort Youth Center in Malacca, Malaysia is a boarding school that takes in underprivileged students between the ages of 15 and 19. The school doesn't only provide them with a skill set they can use upon graduation, but also stresses an importance on moral and character education. In line with Tzu Chi's spirit, the school has invited volunteers to share their experiences with the students.
Montfort Youth Center provides guidance to many students from the age of 15 to 19 from underprivileged families. Some are rebellious, while some are very positive about themselves when they are faced with suspicion. From 2012, the school invites Tzu Chi volunteers to visit the students twice a month to share experiences.
When I was in primary school, my relatives said they didn't think highly of me because I wasn't much cared for. However, I have never looked down on myself. I knew I had to be responsible for myself.
The volunteers teach the students to reflect on themselves.
When I received the money, the first thing I thought of wasn't using it for my living expense, but to buy a cell phone that would cost $97 US. Now I feel it wasn't right.
My English is very bad, so I must study hard. I must overcome every difficulty.
After I came here, it feels I am on the right track to success, allows me to go where I want, and I won't give up easily.
Life is never a smooth ride, but if you don't give up, you can become closer to being successful.
Also in Malaysia, in early November, Penang suffered the worst floods in the past 10 years, leading 80% of the state to be severely flooded. To assist Tzu Chi in the country with disaster relief work, the Berjaya Corporation has generously donated to the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter. Two of the country's influential businessmen also took to the community to personally canvass for donations. Let's take a look.
And Butterworth to help clean up the schools so that the children can get back to schools to sit for their exam comfortably. So we cleaned up about 25 schools and institutions over the last 2 days.
Penang, Malaysia experienced the worst floods in the past 10 years. Tzu Chi has mobilized volunteers from different states of this country to join disaster relief efforts. The Berjaya Corporation has provided Tzu Chi with $65,000 US for disaster relief purposes.
And we hope other Malaysians, more Malaysians will come out and help so that they can continue to help in the Penang flood situation.
In addition to providing funds, the founder of Berjaya Corporation, Tamsrin Vincent Tan, also heads to shopping malls to canvass for donations.
Today I thought it is good to show that by example that we are willing to stand in the public and collect money. And it is a good experience, and I'm very happy that I'm able to do it.
Tamsri Lim Wee Chai also spares his time to canvass for donations on the streets. He is the world's largest glove manufacturer and supplier.
By serving others, we can keep this precious experience longer in our mind. We may forget about this experience easily if we simply donate money. We don't usually have the opportunity to help others, so we should seize the chance to do good deeds.
Both of them are listed company owners. They humble themselves and walk into the crowd, not only to raise funds from the public, but also gather blessings for the flood victims in Penang.
The Tzu Chi class from Anping, Tainan recently hosted an outdoors event for residents of a local home for the disabled. Tzu Chi accompanied the disabled to complete the different challenges that were set up, ensuring everyone had a jolly good time. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.